Hey everybody, Nick here, and today I got a review for you of this very interesting little guy right here. This is the Purvis Blades and Elijah Isham Progeny. The brand name is Purvis Blades. So anyways, first off, I want to thank my buddy Mike for the long-term loan. He said, Nick, I know you're not taking loans right now because things are, you don't have enough time, so here, I'm going to send you this. You send it back when you're done, whatever the heck that is. And that's really kind of him. Thank you very much for that, Mike. It made it easy, and it made it easier to check out a knife that's actually pretty interesting. So, thank you there. Next thing, size comparison. Oh, actually, next thing, this is the Knife Nuts Podcast Edition. I don't actually know if there's anything particularly different about it. It's just got the Knife Nuts Podcast on there. That's cool. It's a good podcast. So anyways, you can check them out too. But that's a special edition here. Next thing, size comparison. Here it is against the Spyderco. Guys, it's been a long night. The Ontario Rat number 1. Here it is against the Ontario Rat number 2. Now here it is against your Spyderco Delica. See? There we go. Boom, Spyderco Delica. So you can see in terms of size, it's actually sort of in an intermediate range here. It's not a tiny knife, but it's reasonably sized. We're coming in here around 3.25 inches, depending on how much the cop likes you. So, you're in that basic vicinity here. Pretty vanilla size, but it's a good size. Then next thing, who the heck is it? Purvis. So Purvis Blades, a guy, he started off doing some custom work. Now he's been doing some production stuff. I reviewed the the Primordial from him initially and really liked it, and then I got this guy as well. And this is actually a collaboration between him and Elijah Isham. Elijah Isham is one of those, cool up-and-coming designers. He's been doing it, well, up-and-coming. He's already freaking arrived. He's been doing a bunch of cool stuff. He's got, like, the Wii Eschaton, the Kaiser Minitherium. This little guy right here is another one of his, the Civivi Anthropos, Anthropos, whatever you want to say. Either way, so that's what's going on there. And this guy was actually made by Bestech, which is another interesting company that is sort of trying to pop up and compete with the Wii knives and the Kaisers of the world, and try and take up some of that, high-end production stuff for overseas. It's a Chinese company. So, anyways, there you go. Let's go ahead and jump into the good, the great, the bad, the ugly of this very interesting knife here. So on the good side, the clip on this guy is good to go. Purvis is actually a very good clip maker. He actually has a fair amount of clip making, like as a separate gig, I suppose. And so it makes sense this would have a good clip, but it is a good clip. It's not only relatively attractive, it's got that little bit of contrasting blue, but it works. It's a solid freaking clip. It works well. It's positioned well. Good to go. Next thing, the size on this guy is good. I think this is a very middle-of-the-road size. It's going to appeal to a lot of people. It's not too crazy. It's not too tiny. It's very, very good in terms of overall size. No complaints there. Next thing, ergos on this guy are absolutely okay. You can feel the clip a little bit from time to time, but mostly it fits into the hand pretty well. You're a little far away from the cutting edge, and I don't quite feel right choking up on this guy because there's not enough choil there. But ergonomically speaking, it's okay. It fits well in the hand, and I feel like I do have a pretty good grip on it. And this clip, coupled with this external lock bar insert here, and the overall contouring, gives me a sense that this is very firmly in the hand. So that's good. Next thing, action on this, good to go. No wrist action there. It deploys 100% reliably. Boom, no problem. Easy peasy. So that's good. Next thing, nice blade. The blade on this guy is made of M390 steel, which is, if not the best blade steel out there, a pretty damn good contender, or at least for most people. And it is ground relatively well, maybe a little thicker behind the edge than I'd like to see, but that's okay. Not terrible. Actually, okay. This is ground better than most. I'd like to see better, but I have unrealistic expectations. Let's put it that way. But it is a nice blade overall, and it has a good shape. I mean, it's sort of almost Warncliffy. It's sheep's foot, is what it is. But you see, you've got a little bit of curvature here, but it is overall pretty good. And you get a lot of the same utility that you get out of a Warncliffe style knife in this kind of situation. Next thing, the construction on this is actually quite good. It is made by Bestech, as I mentioned, but Bestech has done good work here. I mean, you get a nice full back spacer here. You get a very nice lock bar insert complete with over travel stop. You get good screws, and by the way, that's a Torx bit. Easy to take apart. You get all of this good contoured titanium and actually a nice stonewash contoured titanium. This is pretty well done overall. You probably could have told me that this was made by We, and I would have been like, okay, a little weird in some of the fasteners and whatnot, but yeah, sure, okay, sure, whatever. Frankly, the blade finish, I mean, it's a pretty good construction here, and contoured titanium is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, I remember a few years ago that was used as a big selling point on a much more expensive knife. So, that's definitely situational. Or that's definitely a nice situation. This was well made. Best Tech did very nice work here. Next thing, there are actually some signs of upgrades available. For instance, he has a DLC black version of this, which is actually quite handsome. I'm not generally a big fan of DLC black, but a pure black handle with a Damascus clip and a satin blade, not unattractive. Not something I'm going out of my way to buy, but it's pretty. Pretty? Sure, why not? So it's nice to see those kinds of upgrades. And, offering Damascus clips on Productions knives is a really nice way to kind of gussy up a model you already love. That's great. I want to see more of that. Then finally, on the good side, this is completely sort of ephemeral, but I as I tend to do for smaller makers, I checked his warranty page. And this is the entire text of his warranty page, which I will now read aloud. My warranty is simple. If I did something wrong, I will fix it. If you did something wrong, I will do everything I can to work with you to fix it. If you receive a product you're not happy with it, I'll do what I can to rectify the issue. I care completely about the customer experience and making sure that the end user is satisfied. That is exactly what I want to hear. I mean, at some level, sure. I mean, it's not like a crazy legalese warranty, and some other people have got great warranties, but that is just, it gets so nicely at the heart of the kinds of things I'm looking for. Particularly if I did something wrong, I fix it. If you did something wrong, I'll work with you to try and fix it. So that probably means he'll charge you to, help unscrew up your knife, but that's still a very nice thing. I love the tone of it. I love the sentiment of it. That's the kind of thing, that's the feeling I want to get out of a good warranty. Hopefully I'll never have to use it, but that really makes it sound like Purvis is going to have my back if I ever do, and just that's good. So I just love the tone that he hit there. It's unrelated to the knife, but it's just a good thing, and I want to acknowledge good things where I see them. So to me, all of that is the good, is that the warranty is just right on point, tone-wise. It's got Damascus clip upgrades, DLC bodies, which are definitely interesting. Good overall construction. Best Tech did great work here. It's a nice blade. It's M390 and pretty well ground by everybody else's standards. It is a nice action. The ergos on it are fine. It's a nice size, very nice clip. On the great side, to me, actually is the value. So M390, contoured titanium, decent grind, everything like that, good action. What are we thinking here, price-wise? 2 or 3 years ago, $300, $400, $190. That's a good price. That is good value right there. M390 is, as you recall, if not the best blade steel, one of the best. Contoured titanium with a nice stonewash. Every damn part of this is way better done than 190 would indicate. I mean, for 190 bucks, you're getting, thinking about other companies, you are just not getting that kind of, you're looking at S35VN, which is, again, a great steel. No, not complaining about S35VN. But you're just getting a lot here for that price. That feels like an aggressively priced knife. And I love seeing that. That is absolutely 100% good. I want to see that more often. Nice value there. And so to me, the greatest thing about this knife, the thing that makes it interesting, honestly, is that value. On the bad side, if this guy were not in that value category, my biggest feeling about it, my biggest gripe would be that this is just kind of another stonewash titanium frame lock. It is, at some level, it's got a little bit of its own design, but it's a little bit vanilla. It's a little bit middle of the road. And so having that price there definitely makes it more compelling, but it's still a little bit like, okay, have I not seen this before? Maybe, no, okay, I don't know. There were some similarities. I'm not saying anything untoward is happening. Frankly, the biggest similarities are other Isham designs. So, but still, it's a little bit vanilla, but the price makes up for that. Not a big deal. Next thing, the stock on this guy, maybe a little thicker than it needs to be for the size, but I'm on that rant lately, or on that warpath lately, so whatever, not a big deal. Next thing, the availability, and this one is a big deal. The availability ain't stellar. You just can't buy one at the moment. I just looked, and they're sold out on the Blade HQ. They're sold out through him. He's got a pre-order for the black ones up there, but that's a pre-order. I would like to see a little bit more availability. I get it, small batches, whatever, that's life, but still, like to see that. I'd like to see a little more availability. Next thing, the weight on this guy is not super compelling. It is got a little bit of internal milling there, but we're coming in here 3.6 ounces. Look, it's not a super lightweight knife. We'll put it that way. It's not a super heavy knife either, but it's not a super lightweight one. 3.9 ounces for, 3.25 inches. 3.6 ounces. Whoops, sorry, misread. 3.6 ounces for 3.25 inches or whatever is not super amazing. Not a huge deal. And then finally, on the bad side, the biggest thing, the thing that annoys me most, and the thing that keeps this out of my collection are these sharp back corners. This, to me, is borderline ugly. I could, it's not a huge deal. And if I put it in the ugly bunch, oh my God, but, these are sharp back corners. And the problem with sharp back corners is that every damn time you flip the knife, you are going to stab yourself with this corner. And similarly, every time I carried the knife, these were digging into me. So I would like to see a lot more contouring in the back here. I'd like to see this just kind of rounded off. There's a reason that many knives have round areas in the back, such that, this is the Tuya Knives Hive. This guy has a nice rounded area here that just fits beautifully into the hand as you flip it, whereas this guy has this sharp corner there that digs right on in there. Aesthetically, very nice, but ergonomically, not so much. And so to me, the worst thing about this knife, 100%, is these back corners there. Is it the end of any worlds? No, not particularly, but it's definitely a thing. One final thing I'll highlight, just because a lot of people are going to ask me about it. Yeah, the blade looks a little bit close there, but I'm in no danger, so it's not a big concern. So to me, those are the bad things, is that the back corner of this guy is a little bit sharp, and not like in the cut-you sense, but in the uncomfortable sense. That's a big hot spot, which is not great for carrying or flipping. Availability isn't great. The weight isn't super inspiring. The stock is a little thick for the size, and it is another stonewashed titanium frame lock, which, at the end of the day, yeah, we got a lot of those out there, but at least this one's really well priced. So, final conclusion, this is a very solid little knife here. I mean, it is well built. It's got a very nice action, very nice blade, and at $190 represents great value. I mean, again, $190 for M390 contoured titanium, Elijah Isham and Adam Purvis design, good action. Okay, that is absolutely good to go. I mean, sure, it's got a couple of downsides. It's a little middle of the road, a little thick in the blade. You can't freaking buy one at the moment. And those back corners do absolutely drive me nuts. But again, $190, okay, yep. There you go. Good. So, final conclusion here. This is a very solid piece. And it's a very good value. It's one of the better frame lock values out there right now. It's a very good way to get a very high-end feeling piece at a much lower-end budget. And with a little bit more contouring in the back here, I think version 2 could be even more compelling. But even as it stands, if you can get one of these guys, and that's a little bit of an issue at the moment, at the original price, then I think the Progeny could be a great offspring of your knife collecting habit. Get it? Progeny? Offspring? No? Okay. Anyways, hope this has been interesting to you and that you have yourselves an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.